What's going on? Welcome to another episode of Tax Practice Revolution, where we help you revolutionize your tax business, which really means let's transform it to something that you're proud of, something that makes you money, and something that you can grow forever so you can live a life full of freedom. My name is David, your host here. I am a tax professional just like you who has changed and transformed, revolutionized my practice to become an advisor. And every month I help advisors all across this country grow and scale their business. And I want to help you too, because what I know today, it's more important than ever to stand out, look different, and help you and your clients both win at the same time. In today's episode, I'm going to be showing you, talking too fast here, how to maximize your practice and help you get that client engagement up so you can maximize every client and help make more money while you help them save more money. Now, welcome to our live event and thank you for being here. So before I begin, let's just kind of talk a few things through, right? Helping clients, right? That's the number one goal. I really want this to come across the right way. We can talk about how we can make more money per client, but the problem that we face is if we want to make more money, we've got to be able to add more value. Now, value is what somebody believes something is. So when you do a service or perform a service for a client, what you're asking that client to do is in exchange, give you money, some of this, right? They got to give you some of this. And in order for them to give you some of this, they have to believe what you're doing is valuable. And a lot of the times we like to define or describe our services as things that we're going to do instead of the benefits that they're going to get. So today I want to talk to you about how you go from doing stuff to showing the benefits of things. And so that you can articulate your value, which means what they believe it's worth, to a higher degree so that when you ask for more money, they're like, here you go, right? Here you go. So let's go to the blue board. You ready? Let's go. All right. So like I mentioned before, the goal, man, I'm glowing. The goal here is to establish yourself as a more valuable person. And today, what we like to describe ourselves as is either an accountant, a bookkeeper, a CPA, or a tax professional. Whatever you define yourself as or identify is really how the clients perceive you, right? So if you say bookkeeper, they think bookkeeping. You say tax preparer, they think tax preparation. You say accountant, they think accounting. They think CPA, they think, well, probably tax preparer. Unfortunately, that's what they believe. And so how you define yourself is really a good correlation of how people see you, and how you define your service is a good way how people believe what you're doing is for them. So when I say to somebody today, for an example, I'm going to provide bookkeeping, okay? This is really important. I want you to get this, right? You're a bookkeeping client, right? Well, what do you think what people think about bookkeeping? Do they think excitement? Do they think, wow, this is so cool? Do they think about it as something that is needed and warranted and they absolutely have to have every month? Maybe there's a small subset. If we did this, right? If we did an 80-20, you ever heard of this principle? The 80-20 principle, that 80% of the people don't care and the other 20% do? Well, you're probably dealing with the same principle, meaning if you had 10 clients, 8 of them are like, just do what I pay you, and the other 20 are like, hey, I need that data, right? We already know that. And the problem that we have is the reason that the 80% here don't care is because we define it as bookkeeping. So how you label something is how somebody sees it. So instead of selling bookkeeping, you don't want to sell bookkeeping. You want to sell reporting, decision-making, metrics, margins. What all that really means is, I want to show you the financial health of your business. I don't bookkeep. I show you the health, the financial health of your business. Why is this important? Because now I think about it in a different way. Now I, as the buyer, if you're offering it to me, start seeing it as, maybe I need to give you my information so you could show me the health. And then if you could define health for them, imagine what that looks like. You see, this is the difference between bookkeeping and helping somebody grow their business. Now, a lot of people would say, well, this is kind of like CFO type work. I'm like, well, if it is, then bookkeeping is obsolete because nobody wants bookkeeping. People want to know that their numbers, and not everybody does because they don't understand that there is a defined health. So for an example, when you meet a client, you would say, oh, what kind of business? They say roofing, and you'd say, well, for roofers, I could do bookkeeping. I don't want you to do bookkeeping. I want you to give them the health of their business. So then what you could do is you could go and you could study and find out what is the margin meaning the amount of money that they get to keep per transaction that nets, right? The 20%, the 30%, the 40%, whatever their margins are nationally for roofers. And then I use that as my benchmark for health. And so that whenever I get all their financial data on a monthly basis, I then reconcile it in whatever bookkeeping software you use. And then at the end of the month, I tell you how healthy you are. And the grade of health, let's say, is 30% or greater. And so then I tell my client, hey, by the way, good month, man, you healthy. What's that mean? You made more than 30% this month. Ain't that cool? Yeah, cool. Now, do you like this kind of stuff? Yeah. Okay, cool. So I'm going to help you with this health score every single month. And he's like, really? I mean, you're going to do that? Absolutely. So when I was doing bookkeeping, I was charging $300. Now that I'm not doing bookkeeping, I'm charging $1,000. I just made me 3 and almost a third more for the same service I was going to do anyways. So now I've labeled myself a health coach. No, I don't want to be a health coach. I've actually become what I call an advisor. Why? Because advisors don't bookkeep. They give insights. They develop a pattern. Now, do I want to just be a bookkeeping advisor? No, I want to be a tax advisor. You see, the way you get more money per client is